Thank you for your interest in learning more about the HMS Student Handbook and Student Accountability System. The Student Handbook is available on the Highcrest homepage under the Students tab. Let's visit the handbook briefly now. On the introductory pages of the handbook, you will find welcome information from the administration, information about bell schedules and attendance, and general school procedures. Beginning on page 6, you will find the Hawks Code of Conduct and Behavior Expectations. Take some time to review the Behavior Expectations matrix linked here to know more specifics about the expectations of all students in all areas of the school. Following the information about expectations is a detailed explanation of the Student Accountability System. We will go into more detail about the SAS in a few minutes. Please pay special attention to the information in the handbook on pages 8 through 10. This is about bullying, teasing, and discipline. Bullying and teasing in any form is not tolerated on the 5-8 campus, and students should show tolerance, respect, and understanding toward each other. Bullying is the act of hurting, frightening, threatening, embarrassing, intimidating, excluding, controlling, or hurtful teasing by a student or group of students toward another student, using physical, verbal, or psychological means. It is about an intentional hurtful act toward another person that makes them feel inferior, potentially causing long-term emotional and/or academic consequences. For a full definition of bullying, the link to the District 39 Board of Education policy on bullying is linked. Information on academics, homework, and technology follows in the handbook, and an updated mobile learning handbook will also be available to students during iPad orientation in the coming days. Lunch and recess, Hawks expectations, and procedures for health and safety offer important reminders about food practices, medication practices, and emergency drills. Finally, check out the many ways you can get involved at HMS in clubs, athletics, and other after-school activities. Now that you have heard about some of the highlights in our student handbook, let's turn our attention to the Student Accountability System. The Student Accountability System is a consistent system to address low-level behaviors that occur when students do not meet expectations set out by our Hawks Code of Conduct. The changes made to the Student Accountability System allow students to take ownership for their actions and give them a chance to reflect. Embedded in the system is an opportunity for conversation with intervening teachers, GLADs, and other administrators, as well as additional support staff in the school. We are proud of the changes that have been made, as they are supportive and restorative in nature as opposed to punitive. The root of our expectations comes from the acronym HAWKS, or HAWKS. Hawks are honest, accountable walkers who are kind and safe. Highcrest is a place where students should feel safe to learn, where students are responsible for their learning, and where students are respectful of themselves and others. If students remember to act as Hawks are expected to act, they will have a wonderful and successful Highcrest experience. Please look at the matrix of behaviors located in the Student Handbook. This outlines details of student expectations for being honest, accountable walkers who are kind and safe. Posters of the matrix will be available in classrooms and around the school for quick student reference. It is important first and foremost that we celebrate when students meet expectations and go above and beyond to help out classmates. We will be highlighting the Hawk feathers that students receive weekly through the Hawk High Five and Walk Merit drawings, Hawks Friday Spirit Wear celebrations, Hawks assemblies, drawings at those assemblies, and even more activities to be developed by our soon-to-form Student Advisory Board. Of course, we have to talk about if students do not meet expectations for conduct. If this happens, they will receive a Hawks conduct form. It looks like this. Let's point out a few features. The student's name, homeroom teacher, and the referring staff member will all be filled out. When this happens, a conversation will be had with the student about the expectation that was not met and how that relates to the Hawks expectations. Additional information may be shared on the lines on the form so parents have details about what occurred. If, in the event of a higher level incident, an administrator is needed, the administrative follow-up box will be checked. A student will receive a copy of his or her conduct or stop and check form to take home. Let's outline the follow-up that will occur if a student receives a stop and check form. Event a student receives a stop and check form, there will be a conversation with the referring teacher, and an email will be sent home with any teacher notes of clarification to inform parents of the details of what happened at school that day. If a student receives a third conduct form or stop and check form, a conversation with an administrator will happen and a lunchtime reflection period will occur where the student will have an opportunity to fill out a reflection form and process that with an adult. Additionally, an email home will come with the teacher notes, and you will also receive a copy of the reflection form so that you may have a conversation with your child at home. If, in the event the administrator follow-up is needed, there will be a conversation between the student and the administrator, as well as a lunchtime reflection with that administrator. You will receive an email at home with any notes from the incident and the reflection form to process with your child. The administrator may also elect to call you at that time and talk about a possible additional plan or any other disciplinary actions depending on the circumstance at the time. Turn to the system that adequate reflection take place. So, when required, a student will have a lunch period reflection where he or she will fill out a reflection form with an adult and discuss his or her answers with that adult. This form will also be sent home to share with parents, so you are able to follow up with a continued conversation. It is important to note that during this reflection, we will focus on how the incident affected the child in question, as well as any other children involved in the incident. And we will work with the child to make a plan in order to remedy the action in the future and to repair the relationship between any children involved in the incident. As this is a new system, and we want all students, staff, and parents to be involved in making it the most effective that it can be, we will be unrolling it very slowly over the next few weeks at school, and we will be gathering input throughout the year. This is an important message for students, especially, so they know that they are able to come into school, get acclimated to the Highcrest environment, and we will be teaching about this system as we go along. The school-wide behavior team will be meeting regularly to discuss the system and any new adjustments. Parents, students, and staff will be surveyed, and additional input will be gathered. Finally, we will look at the data that we receive from these forms throughout the year to see if there are any patterns or any specific areas of behavior needing additional support. We really want to make HMS the best place it can be, and having a school-wide system of support that helps students reflect on and take ownership for their actions, that uses a common language supported by staff and parents, where staff, administrators, and parents can partner to ensure every student feels safe, respected, and ready to learn on a daily basis is the key. We will be continuing to share updates with you over the next few weeks. Look for more ways that you can engage in a conversation with your child about the student accountability system and the stop and checks that are in place. Thank you for your time, and as always, please do not hesitate to reach out to your administrative team with questions.